Avid again, and hello, it's Vo, and welcome back to our playthrough of Magic Online. What we're going to do is we're going to play another new to Magic Online Phantom Draft using 4 of our new player points that we got when we signed up. We're going to go all the way through this and share the experience with you. Hopefully it'll help you decide whether you'd like to join the Magic Online community or not. I think it's certainly a better idea than spending money in Arena. Arena is fun and flashy, but it doesn't necessarily teach you how to play Magic any better. You can see here we're going to play 2 games. If we win one of them, we can get 5 play points, and if we win 2, we get 10 play points. Obviously, if we don't win any, we'll get 0 play points. And this is just a 4-player draft. In the normal drafts that you'll pay to enter, the proper draft competitions, there'll be 8 players playing. That gives you more cards to see, and that'll help you make a more refined deck. Ideally, you just want to play 1 or 2 colors. You usually can't get away with getting enough good cards of just 1 color to play. So it's usually 2 colors. But if you're passing 8, 16, 24 packs round, then you'll definitely see more cards. In draft, all players start with 3 packs of cards. They open a pack, take a card, pass it on. Obviously, if there's only 4 players playing, then that's only 12 packs total. So in 12 packs, you're not likely to see enough good cards of only 2 colors. You might need to play 3 colors. But when there's 8 players, it's easier for you to see enough cards to pick cards to make 2 color decks. So the tournament will start when 4 people have joined. And then very briefly it'll show us the table. It's a Swiss tournament, so it'll be 2 pairs to play the first match, and then the winner will play the winner and the loser will play the loser to determine who comes out on top. So we've got our first pack of cards opened. The rare is not creature, nor is it creature removal. It's an enchantment that fights off non-basic lands. It's a good card. You know, if this wasn't a Phantom event, we might want to take it just to keep it, so we could have it in one of our decks. But because we don't get to keep any of these cards, we only want to play to win the games, to try and get our 10 play points. So we probably want one of the uncommons. We're going to take Baffling End, because it's creature removal. We generally only want to take creatures or creature removal. We can take other non-creature spells, but only if they seem really helpful to us. We generally want to take the rares if they're creatures or creature removal. And we can take a few cards before we start deciding which colors we want to be in. You can take, you know, if the first 4 cards you take from the first 4 packs you see are all different colors, that's no biggie. We only need to make a 40 card deck. 17 or 16 of those cards are going to be land. So we only really need 23 or 24 cards to make up our deck. We could be totally safe and take the white card, this creature here. We generally want to take a rare or an uncommon before they all go. We're going to take the rare as a creature. Here the Crested Herd Caller is very good. It's a 3/3 trample that spawns another 3/3 trample, and creature advantage is key. Also evasion, like trample or fly-in, menace. These things are also very good. We want to win creature battles to win our games. Very rarely are you going to get enough non-creature spells, enchantments, etc. to pull off good combos in draft. You're generally always just going to be going with creatures. Got an equipment here. It seems a little bit risky because it can potentially destroy our creature if our opponent destroys our equipment. It destroys the creature it's attached to. We're going to take it. We might not play it. It does seem slightly risky as a card, but we haven't gone into blue yet. We're still reluctant to take the white and blue creature. It does have flying. Because we've got our crested herd collar that's double green, we might want to think about taking green cards. Maybe we could take the green and white, but that still defines that we're definitely going to be green and white. Probably want the evasive creature. We'll go with the flying creature. Then hopefully the green and white creature will come back round to us because no one's taken it. And it helps with dinosaur synergies, so we might want to be green and white dinosaurs and forget about black. I do like Curious Obsession, but then that puts us into blue. It does give us options, but it's maybe better than Naturalize. I'm not that keen on any of these three creatures. I'm just going to take the Curious Obsession because I feel it's the best card. I really don't think we want to be in black. So I don't think we want to take black flying creature, but maybe we do. In case we do go into blue, we'll go with negate. Maybe we take the little unblockable guy. And then if we are in the blue, I think we want a second negate. I think we should pick this guy up now. I don't think we can gamble on him coming all the way back around again. I've already done it twice. Maybe we want the Naturalize, just in case our opponent's playing enchantments or artifacts that we want to get rid of. It's maybe a card for our sideboard. A card that we would take into some matches, but not others. I suppose Plummet is the same. Second Naturalize, that's about it. If it wasn't a Phantom draft, we would definitely take the Blood Sun. But we would have taken that in the first instance. Just because it would probably be worth something. We could trade it in afterwards for more tickets. But again, because it's Phantom draft, we're not getting to keep these cards afterwards, so we just want to play to make a winning deck, not to take powerful cards that would go in other decks, but not necessarily ours. Here the Bishop of Binding is a creature, is a rare, and it is creature removal. So in draft that's definitely the card you want. It's maybe not powerful in all decks, but of course it would help if we had vampire synergies. But I think we're more likely to want dinosaur synergies if we can pick them up. Don't know what we want from this pack. Maybe the Snubborn Sentry is a dinosaur. I think we're more likely to be having a dinosaur sub-theme. We have seen a few merfolk, but I think it's perhaps a little late to go into merfolk. think we want the bigger creatures. Another crested herd caller just passed to us. Wow. Yeah, we'll have that. I don't really like this guy. 4-2 is bad stats. Gets blocked by a 2-2 and dies. But we might want to play it. I think we probably still want to just pick green and white cards. Unless we see some good black removal, like destroy target creature, that sort of thing, impale. That might still keep us in black. I'm not seeing any blue cards, so I think someone else will be picking up all the blue cards. Maybe someone's making a good Merfolk deck. There have been quite a few go past. I think we want to take Brontodon. It's a good card. It does help get rid of enchantments. It's useful in the format. Get some removal here, and hopefully we'll pick up that second Brontodon when it comes back round. Combat Trick to boost all our creatures. Might not play that. It depends on how many playable cards you've got at the end. You get 10 minutes deck building time to have a think about it and decide on which deck you're going to build out of the cards you've got. And it's a fun way to try new cards out and to get to build a deck, you know. And you get to play a few games of Magic. It's a fun experience. This is quite similar to how it would be if you and 3 friends were playing around a kitchen table. All you need is 3 packs each. So the 4 of you could go down to a store that sells them. There are plenty of shops, comic book shops, that sell Magic cards. Even bookshops sell Magic cards here. Have to pay slightly more for them in the UK than the US because of import taxes. What we often do is one of us who's feeling rather rich, rather flush, will get a box of booster packs, and then when our friends come round, they can pay us money for 3 of the booster packs, cheaper than they would get in the shop, because we've got a good deal on getting a box, buying in bulk. And then we'll sit and draft just like this. It's a fun way to learn a new set, build some new decks. Here we don't have much excitement. I'm just going to take a little white 1-drop. Again, a red card's not what we're interested in. Just want to go with the white and green dinosaur plan. So we're going to get this guy to reach. Slash of Talons is removal. Can hope that comes back to us maybe, because we'll take the Drover. He helps us ramp to cast our more expensive dinosaurs early. And he becomes a 3-3 rather than a 1-1 once the dinosaur is in play. really like this. Just in case we play blue, we're taking Navigator's Ruin, because I really love playing mill. I love to attack in with little creatures and mill my opponent out. Would be glorious. I don't think we've got I think we've got enough green and white cards that we probably don't need to splash into blue. But just in case we do, that's probably what we'll do. Navigator's Ruin and well, I definitely don't want Deep Root Waters. Could take Dive Down. There's a few blue cards that we could put in the deck. Just put in a couple of islands. And a couple of blue cards, you know. I don't think our black is good enough to splash into our deck. I'm just gonna take the white creature, we're gonna stay safe. Same again here. But Navigator's Ruin, no, it's very tempting to splash blue just for that. Some matches can be quite grindy if you set up defenses on both sides. No one can get good attacks. That's why evasion is key. You need the flying creatures, creatures of trample, menace, that sort of thing. It's red rare again. It's no use. Take the red dinosaur, even though there's no chance of us playing it. Maybe we want the Jungle Delver? Don't know. Don't think so. So as you see, you end up with cards of probably all 5 colors by the end of it. But it doesn't matter because you don't need to play all the cards. We only need 23 or 24 cards, and the rest are land to make up our 40 card deck. So these last few picks doesn't really matter. The last card will usually just be a land. Very rarely people are excited to take land in draft, because you can get as many lands as you want. On Magic Online, you just click the Add Basic Lands button. In a home draft, if you're playing around the kitchen table, you're going to need some basic lands. Anyone who's been picking up physical cards for a while is going to have plenty of basic lands, I'm sure. But if you had yourself and 3 friends who were just starting out, then you're going to need to get some basic lands from a more experienced player. Perhaps borrow some basic lands so you can play your first ever draft. If you just went to the shops and got 3 boosters each. So now we're in the deck building phase. I'm going to have a look and see, we can separate out our dinosaurs. See if we can see which dinosaurs we've got, or dinosaur related cards that help with dinosaurs. If we have enough of those, then we can just go with being the dinosaur deck. The other cards will pop up into our sideboard area. We can separate piles out. We can have our non-creature spells over here. It's Captain's Hook, like I'm really reluctant to play it. take out Navigator's Ruin, much to my sadness. I really don't think we want to play blue at all. Spells and equipment. Don't think we're going to need that at all at any point. Don't think we'll need the Delver either. So I think blue is definitely out. Black is definitely out. Don't need to have the land in here just now. So we're on 25 cards. We want to be on 23 cards. Or 24 at worst. So we're going to need to take something out. We probably don't need 2 naturalizes. Could just drop a naturalize and go down to 24. Add lands. Most expensive thing is 5. Maybe we take out one of our 5 drops. We do have 2 crested herd collars, so maybe we want to take one out. It's a good card, so maybe we want them both. Not sure about our Strider harness. Can maybe get rid of that. But we've certainly got enough green and white. Maybe we want to take in the Bishop of Binding, even though they're not a dinosaur. If we're taking something out, we generally want to take out something in the high end. So there's decisions on what you would take out, but I don't think we should play 25 cards in 15 land, because then we'll get mana screwed in a couple of games. Having an opening hand with 1 land in it, having a mulligan, still just 1 land, you know, and a bunch of 2 crested herd collars in your hand or something. It's not a situation that we really want. We do have slightly more green cards than white cards. So when we add lands, we want to have the balance swayed towards forests. But only by 1, I would say. We've already got plains in our deck because we were given a plains at the end in one of the packs. This puts us to 16 land. And we're down 1 crested herd collar. I'm gonna hide all these cards by highlighting them, right click on them, and then click and hide. That way we can get a clearer look of the cards that we might want to swap in between games. So we're going to add in 1 forest. Again, just so we've got that sway towards forests. So we can take out 1 plummet and 1 naturalize, leaving 1 of each in our deck. We can add in couple of cards. Maybe we want the Crested Herd Caller back in. Maybe we want something cheaper. It's a mana sink, and it's an early creature. Maybe we want this little guy to help untap our lands and ramp up to our bigger creatures. That'll mean that we've got 2 mana guys, 3 mana guys that can tap to give us mana or untap a land. It can be the same thing. That way we only need to play the 16 lands and not 17. So we're going to go into our first game. Everyone's finished building their decks. And the winner of this match will play the winner of the other pairing. And the loser of this match will play the loser of that pairing. Our opening hand seems fine. We've only got the 1 forest, but we have plays. Enough land not to be worried. That 16 wasn't enough, you know. Our opponent's playing green as well. Just gonna copy them and pass the turn over. See if we can, there we go. So our opponent plays a plains, taps both lands to get out a creature. 3/1. So we do have a removal spell in our hand, but it's going to take us a while to get there. We do have something we can play. The Snubhorn Sentry, so we're going to tap our land, get out our creature. Then we're going to go to combat. We of course can't attack with our creature because it has Summoning Sickness. We're going to pass through our main phase and go over to our opponent. So our opponent's gonna use Pounce to make their creature fight our Snubhorn Sentry and kill it. Then they're gonna attack us and take us down to 17. Next turn, get out the Seer. Now if our opponent was to pounce again, at least the creatures would trade. It wouldn't be a total loss. Also sets us up to cast a 5-drop Herd Caller next turn on turn 4. So we can tap the Seer to get us that extra mana. So our opponent not missing a land drop. Okay. Well, no dinosaur theme for you. Dinosaurs and merfolk. Maybe just gone for many little creatures. We're not going to block this. We'll keep our Seer on the go. I suppose we could equip the Harness, make him tougher, so he could block and not die. Could also do that to the Herd Caller or its token. And these two block the smaller creatures, no problem. It's fine. So opponent is gonna get in for a bit of damage. Again, we're going to let this through. Not trading something good, not even my 3/3 token for that. I'd rather take 3 at the face. So we're down 11. We could hold back everything and play our Divine Verdict. I think we want to get this out. So we're going to equip it to our token, or our herd caller. Let's go with the herd caller. If our opponent uses removal, they don't know that we don't have a way to get the herd caller back. Kinda wish I'd put in the second herd caller now instead of the Blossom Dryad. But maybe a little bit greedy. We probably do need the mana ramp. Having more creatures is good. The herd caller, creating a secondary creature, is very valuable, makes it a great creature. Okay. Do we want to take this? I don't think so. So we're going to settle the block here. We can re-equip our Strider Harness to something else. Now we'll give it to the token. And we can leave up Divine Verdict. And we can destroy a creature on the way over to us. Hopefully our opponent's running out of gas. Once we've got the board stabilized, we can cast one of our flying creatures. Hopefully we'll pick it up. Okay. So they're going to give their 3/1 +1/+1 a lifelink, making it a 4/2 lifelink. And they get to spit out a token, a 1/1 lifelink vampire. It's a good card. I did consider taking it. But we're going to get a 2-for-1. And destroy that creature entirely, along with the enchantment that was on it. Equipment sticks around after the creature dies, which is why we could re-equip our equipment to another creature. Whereas an aura, an enchantment that just goes on a creature, they will go when the creature goes. The creature goes to the graveyard and takes the enchantment with it. So here we go, we've got one of our evasive creatures. Go ahead and get out our Cobbled Wings. Now hopefully we've stabilized. We can start doing some damage of our own. Right, a 1/7. That's okay, we don't have to worry about that. There is another big butt dinosaur that has a special ability that says that all your creatures deal combat damage assigned by their toughness rather than their power. So essentially the 1/7 does 7 damage instead of 1. So, but unless they have that card, which I didn't see going around in the packs, that's the only time you got to worry about a 1/7. It's obviously going to block your ground creatures, but it's not going to kill them unless they have 1 toughness. Just like a big wall. We're going to make another flyer. We're going to get in over the top. Our opponent doesn't have good attacks. He won't next turn, not unless they have that 1 card. Okay, just a 1 drop. We have the same one in our deck somewhere. Makes the dinosaurs cheaper. So we've got no cards, but our opponent's only got 1 card. I think we're in good shape. They're thinking about it. They could get him for 2 damage, but it's not going to be worth it to them to lose a creature. Just keep a hold of this land, we don't need to lay it. It can make our opponent worried that we have a combat trick or something in our hand. Maybe it'll stop them attacking if they think we have another divine in our hand. So we've stabilized. We're ahead on life. Oh no! That is the one creature that means they assign combat damage by their toughness and not their power. So now, if we let this through, it does us 7 damage. And if we block it, we can't kill it. Unless you have something with 7 power, which we're not going to have, I don't think. I'm not multi-blocking it. So I guess we're going to have to chump that. Unless we let it through once and go down to 4. It's maybe not that safe. If they can go wide and get us, they could attack with everything and get past us. So I guess we chump it. These attackers. Oh no. The land isn't going to help us. I don't think we can even race. Like, attack with 1 creature. Maybe we just swing in with both. Use our token to chump block if we have to. If we're drawing a creature there, if we draw a creature every turn to just keep chump blocking, we win the race. We only need to survive 1 more turn to attack, but probably not going to. In comes the troops. I don't think it matters what we do. Stop him. Die Okay, well, that was quite something. So now we've got a couple of minutes to decide what we want to take in and take out. Switch our deck around. We didn't see any enchantments or artifacts or creatures with flying, so I reckon we can get rid of that. We can get rid of our plummet and our naturalize. Suppose, no, we did see Squire's Devotion, so maybe we want to keep the naturalize in. Definitely want Bishop of Binding to get rid of one of their creatures. Probably that one if they get it out again, or just the 1/7. Something that we can't normally deal with. Try and run it back like this. One land and a white land at that? No. Okay. 3 land is fine. And we get a scry because we've mulliganed down at 6. We get to decide whether we put this on the top or on the bottom. So we're going to put it on the top. It's as good as picking up another land, if not slightly better. And if we'd swap that out for the Crested Herd Collar, which would be the swap I would put out, then we would have had to put that on the bottom. So we wouldn't have had the advantage of having 2 Crested Herd Collars anyway. Makes me feel better about the decision. Just gonna go combat. Our opponent's thinking about something, and on to them. And back to us. Out comes Blossom Dryad. I did see a lot of early creatures, low cast cost creatures from our opponent last time, so hopefully they've just got a handful of land and things they can't cast. I'm surprised they haven't cast a creature yet. Right, here comes someone. So we can cast a 4-drop here. If we tap a land, then use our creature's ability to untap the land. That way we can get 4 mana. Well, I'm glad we kept our naturalize. Gonna let it through once. Now we can lay a 5-drop. I think we just wanna naturalize. Then we can untap a land. Now we can play the 3-drop. come over the top. Now with the dinosaur and player guys flying. We're gonna take them back down with that 3 that they gained. Hopefully next turn we'll start going in the right direction. Okay. Glad they wasted that there. I'm not really fond of that 4-2 anyway. So they do have a lifelink 1-1. So they are still going in the wrong direction in terms of their life total for us. They've got flyer. There we go. Now we don't need to tap our Dryad. Gonna keep up the aggression. The creature doesn't have flying yet because they don't have the City's Blessing. They need 10 permanents and a card with Ascend to get the City's Blessing before their little vampire gets flying. So we're going to get in while we can. Merfolk again. That spits out a Merfolk. He can't be blocked because of his ability. It's a bit annoying. That's fine, we can get this here. Gonna get in with our flyers. So now they're just 1 permanent away from the City's Blessing. And they'll be able to fly over the top back. The Brontodon. So now they've got the City's Blessing. We can untap our land here. And play the spell. And now we're able to block and finally get rid of this annoying little thing. Nightmare blowout for them. And we only take 2 damage instead of 4. It's becoming more relevant. Generally your life total is just a resource. You only really need to worry about it when you're down to, 5, less than 10. Winning the game with only 1 life left is just as good as winning the game with still 20 lives, or more than 20. Well, they're coming in with everything. I'm pretty sure we've got blocks. So we're going to block a few things. Take some damage. It's not the end of the world, we'll be down at 4. Cast this, why not? They did gain 1 life back with their lifelink creature. We can go back, sacrifice this here to get this. Just a better blocker. They've only got 2 in the air that they can attack us for. Maybe if we attack with just 1 flying creature, then we could leave back 1 to block, or we could be aggressive and go for it. Let's see, our flying dinosaur got vigilance. Okay, that's even better. So depending on what our opponent's got, we do still have cards in hand. Once this game is passed, I'll chop the video here. Then we can come back for another video. Watch our match 2. If we win this game, obviously there'll be a game 3 with this opponent before we move on to the other match. But they're certainly thinking about something. Doing some maths about attacking, how profitable it's going to be. I think that flying dinosaur getting vigilance was huge. No attacks. Got a drover. Sure, why not? Join the party. So they've left back the little vampire to block, maybe. Opponent's in deep thought about letting this Drover of the Mighty resolve. Okay. Leaving all their mana untapped, I'm worried about destroy target attacking creature. Just attacking him with the 1. Rather they spent their mana, did something with the cards in their hand before considering an all-out swing. But nah. They don't have anything. Perhaps they just got 4 land in their hand or something terrible like that. So they just got unlucky. Okay, I'll end the video here. When we come back, we'll see game 3 and then our match with our second opponent. Till then, good luck in your games of Magic. I'll see you soon.